The countdown begins to NDTV World Summit. Sri Lankan Prime Minister at the NDTV World Summit. She has clearly said that she's looking forward to speaking at the NDTV World Summit next week. This will be her first official visit to India after becoming Sri Lanka's Prime Minister. And that's the news coming in. The Sri Lankan Prime Minister has said that she is eagerly looking forward to be here at the NDTV World Summit next week. And she says looking forward to the NDTV World Summit, where top global leaders at the NDTV World Summit will converge here in New Delhi. Take a listen.
Ayubowan, Vanakkam, Namaste. I'm very pleased to share a few words with you as I prepare for my upcoming visit to India. This will be my first official visit to India as the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka. India and Sri Lanka, as you know, are bound together by history, culture and shared values. Our relationship is one of great depth and importance, and I look forward to using this opportunity to strengthen our cooperation in every sphere, such as trade, investment, education, development and beyond. Together, I know we can create a future of prosperity and stability for both our nations. I'm also looking forward to participating in the NDTV World Summit, where I will have the opportunity to engage with global leaders and thinkers. I hope to share Sri Lanka's perspectives on international cooperation and economic resilience, and to contribute to meaningful conversations on the pressing challenges of our region and the world.
And for more on this, Vasudha Venugopal is joining me live in Prime 5. Vasudha, over to you. Talk to us about how this big statement out of the Sri Lankan Prime Minister, where she's looking forward to take part in the NDTV World Summit.
Absolutely, Rahisha. In fact, NDTV World Summit is emerging as the only platform where meaningful global dialogue takes place. And this is bringing India to the world, bringing world to India. And in the context of all this, Harini Amarasuriya, who's the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, has released this video statement where she says that it is going to be an important visit for her, the first official visit for her as the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, and she's looking forward to taking part in NDTV World Summit. And she says that she's looking forward to engaging with global leaders, that global dialogue, and engaging in a meaningful dialogue with leaders from different parts of the country. Now, Rahisha, remember that Amarasuriya, Miss Amarasuriya, Harini Amarasuriya, is an alumna of Hindu College in New Delhi. So New Delhi is not unknown to her. She's not a stranger to India. But this, of course, is a very important official visit for her, also at a personal level. And clearly, when it comes to NDTV World Summit, the fact that the Prime Minister is taking part in this, and global leaders from across the country are taking part in this. This also in some way sets the tone for the kind of global dialogue and the kind of issues that this platform will take up and will be sort of discussed in the course of the next 3 days.
Right, absolutely, Vasudha. We also have Shivaru joining me live. But before we go to you, Shiv, let's just listen in to what the Sri Lankan Prime Minister said, where she is clearly eager to be a part of the NDTV World Summit next week. Take a listen.
Ayubowan, Vanakkam, Namaste. I'm very pleased to share a few words with you as I prepare for my upcoming visit to India. This will be my first official visit to India as the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka. India and Sri Lanka, as you know, are bound together by history, culture and shared values. Our relationship is one of great depth and importance, and I look forward to using this opportunity to strengthen our cooperation in every sphere, such as trade, investment, education, development and beyond. Together, I know we can create a future of prosperity and stability for both our nations. I'm also looking forward to participating in the NDTV World Summit, where I will have the opportunity to engage with global leaders and thinkers. I hope to share Sri Lanka's perspectives on international cooperation and economic resilience, and to contribute to meaningful conversations on the pressing challenges of our region and the world.
Right, Shiv, big statement out of the Sri Lankan Prime Minister saying she's eager to be a part of the NDTV World Summit. Talk to us about how her arrival will further strengthen ties between Sri Lanka and India.
You know, there can be no bigger honor and no more important time, for such a visit to India than now. And it is truly an honor for us here at the NDTV network that Prime Minister Harini Amarasuriya, the third woman Prime Minister, mind you, of Sri Lanka after Sirimavo Bandaranaike and Chandrika Kumaratunga, to visit India. It's her first official visit. She's acknowledged that she's going to be here for the NDTV World Summit. Incredibly important, like Vasudha rightly said, India is no stranger to Prime Minister Amarasuriya because she studied at Hindu College. She has been here several times before, but her first visit as Prime Minister of Sri Lanka just about a year after she took over in the first Anura Dissanayake cabinet as Prime Minister of that country at a time of deep political churn. Remember that Sri Lanka is just a few years away from one of its most historic and troubling crises, the economic crises that took over that country. There have been a great deal of questions over the India-China factor as far as relations with Sri Lanka are concerned, and therefore this visit by the Sri Lankan Prime Minister, her first officially as Prime Minister to India, is going to be hugely significant. Ties with Prime Minister Modi, the linkages between India and Sri Lanka, a new dawn forward in terms of cooperation on the military, economic and cultural aspects. All of those are going to be on the table, and I can tell you that those coming and watching the NDTV World Summit are going to be very, very privileged, because this is going to be a perspective from someone who is not a career politician. Prime Minister Amarasuriya is actually an academic. Not many people know that. She has spent an entire life, being on the front lines of academia in Sri Lanka, right. And this was the beginning of her political career. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see her perspective, having straddled both India and Sri Lanka, on what India-Lanka relations mean going forward.
Right, Shiv, absolutely. While the countdown to the NDTV World Summit has begun, the Sri Lankan Prime Minister has clearly said that she is eager to be take part at the NDTV World Summit. Shiv, talk to us more about the topics that will be discussed, because in that bite she clearly said that major topics will, Sri Lanka's perspective perhaps will be shared when she will be here in New Delhi, when she will be taking part at the NDTV World Summit next week.
Very importantly, foreign cooperation. I think that is going to be the most tantalizing aspect of what we're expecting to hear at the NDTV World Summit from the Sri Lankan Prime Minister. Remember, Sri Lanka's geography, deep into the Indian Ocean, just south of India and the peninsula, makes Sri Lanka a very, very strategically important nation. It is a country that has had, age-old political and cultural ties with India. India also provides a great deal of maritime and, military regional security that covers Sri Lanka as well. Huge amount of cooperation in that aspect. There have been a lot of hurdles in India's political relations with Sri Lanka in the recent past, owing to China's very aggressive courting of Sri Lanka as well. But those things appear to be in the rearview mirror now, because India has established itself as a net provider of security in the Indian Ocean, and Sri Lanka, post that economic crisis, has learnt that dealing with China is a very, very tricky business, and India is a really, really reliable partner. And that's the reason why at the NDTV World Summit, when Prime Minister Harini Amarasuriya speaks about her vision of India-Sri Lanka relations, but also Sri Lanka world relations at a time of great geopolitical churn, it's going to be interesting to see what that roadmap really looks like. India has been very, very confident about its ties with Sri Lanka. It has never tried to trap Sri Lanka in any, economic traps like China has. India has been a very honest partner in that sense, diplomatically, economically, politically. But it's going to be important to see how it is. There are many things that are still unknown about the Anura Dissanayake government, its perspective about the world, a very, very young president in Sri Lanka, a non-career politician as the Prime Minister. So, for political watchers, region watchers, subcontinent watchers, I think the NDTV World Summit speech by the visiting Sri Lankan Prime Minister is going to be of enormous interest.